So this is the part 2 of the video. So this is the sewing part. It's short, so I'm just going to be brief. So here I've cut out the design. This is the Ankara. Then I've folded the edge, as you can see. So I'm just going to be laying it on top of the Duchess. So the right side of the Ankara will be facing the wrong side of the Duchess. So I'll place it on top. Then I'll only be sewing the V part of it. Only the V part I'm going to sew. I'll leave the other part. The other part I'll top stitch on top of the on top of the Duchess in front. So I'm just going to lay it. So this is the wrong side of the Duchess. That's the back of the Duchess, and this will be the front of the Ankara, face each other. So by the time I flip it over to the other side, I'll now top stitch. So I'll take it to the sewing machine to do that. So I'll repeat it again. This is the right side as R, then this is the wrong side of the Duchess. So both parts will be facing each other. So I think I didn't state it very well in the first video, so that's why I'm repeating it again in this video. So please take notes before you sew. So I'm just going to pin it down so I can follow the parts that I pinned perfectly. I don't want it to shift, so that's why I'm using my pin to hold it. So I'm still going to use the pin to hold the down part of the design to the Duchess too. So I'll do that so it can lay very flat. So I'm not going to be using hemming gum for it. I'm just going to top stitch on it, so in case if I want to like remove it and readjust. So after sewing it, this is how it's going to come out. So I'm going to iron it very well, give it a nice press, iron it very well. I'm not going to be using hemming gum. I'm just going to top stitch on it. I think it's better, so in case there's any mistake, because when you use an hemming gum, it's going to be a problem if you want to adjust. So I'm just going to take it back to the sewing machine and top stitch on it. So I've used, you can see my pin is holding it firm to the Duchess material. So I'm still going to top stitch at the neck part. As you can see, I'll top stitch on it again, then sew this part to the Duchess. Then this neck part of it, I'm just going to join it together like this, as you can see me do. Join it together like this, right side facing right side, and top stitch at the back. So I'm going to be using half an inch sewing allowance to do this. So I'll take it to the sewing machine now to hold that part together. So let's go to the sewing machine to do that. So after sewing, I'm just going to show you guys, I'm going to top stitch on the fabric. So I'm joining the Ankara to the Duchess. I'm not going to be using hemming gum to hold this together. In case if there is any problem or you want to do adjustments, I think top stitching is better. So I'm just going to be doing this very gently. This part has to be very neat because this is the front part where people will see and your customer will see it. So if it's looking rough, it's not going to be good. So I'm just going to do this gently. So now it's for us to join the neck together. So I'll be sewing this neck together like so. So I'll join the right side facing each other like this. Then I'll take half an inch sewing allowance and sew straight down. So I'll join it together like this and use half an inch sewing allowance to sew. So this is why it's important for you to leave joining allowance when you're cutting. So at that point when I was cutting, see I left half an inch sewing allowance. If not, there will be shortage when you are sewing. So I'm just going to do that. join it together. So after joining it together, this is how it's going to look. You can see how it came out looking so nice, well fitted at the neck area. So now it's for us to join the front and the back parts together. So this is the back part. I'll take it to the cutting table, lay the front first, then the back will be on top of the front. So let's go to the joining table. So this is it on it. So the front part will be laying down, while the back part will be on top of the front part. So I'm going to be joining. First thing first, you have to get the midpoint of this back part. So the midpoint of this back part, I'm going to notch it. So that will be like a guide for me. So I'll notch the midpoint of the back and the midpoint of the front. So after notching it, then I'll join the middle points of both back and front together first. Then I'll join from the right side straight down to the end of the shoulder. Then from the midpoint of the back and the front, join the two parts together straight down to the right side of the shoulder. Then the same thing when I'm sewing, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is it. You can see I've used my pin to secure it. It's very important to hold it with a pin first before sewing. So when I'm sewing, I'm going to start from that middle point. Sew from the middle point to the end of the right hand side. Then do the same. Sew from the middle point to the end of the left hand side. So I'm not going to be starting from one part then straight down. No, from the middle, just like that. That's how I'm going to sew. Just the way I pinned it, that's the same way I'm going to sew it. It works very well for me like this. So this is it. I'm done sewing. You can see how it came out looking so nice. So now it's to place it on the mannequin, and let's take pictures and see how nice it will be looking. So guys, this is the end of this tutorial. So thank you so much for watching, and God bless you as you like and share my videos. See you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.